Hi guys, and welcome back.
Hello.
So today, like we said, we're doing part 2 of our 2-part series of the donor process and us selecting a donor for little Joe. So let's get started.
So Joelle's donor, we chose to go with a white donor. So race was important to us, height, someone that was a similar height as me, eye color, and then secondary, well, I wouldn't say secondary, but medical history was a huge factor for us as well. Education. So that's basically how we chose a donor. I tried to get pregnant prior to Fei getting pregnant, and we basically picked the donor the same way.
Yeah, so we wanted to make sure that when we were choosing the donors, that it was pretty much comparable to who we are.
The cool thing about going through the way that we do, not the old school way, is that they make sure that the doctors make sure that everything reproductive wise is good to go. But pretty much they made sure that it was possible for us to get pregnant. So after that process was finished and they're like, we got the green light, what we would do is we would call the reproductive center, and on day 1 of our cycle. Once we called in day 1, then they would tell us that we need to come back on day 9. So on cycle day 9, they schedule an appointment for you to come in, and during that appointment, you get an ultrasound done. And the purpose of the ultrasound is just to check whether or not your eggs are ready to be inseminated. And when they give you the green light, basically they give you a prescription for the HCG shot, which is also called a trigger shot, and that basically helps to release the eggs in a certain amount of time. After 36 hours, you will go back into the doctor's office, and then that's when the insemination process happens. So it's really funny because when you go to pick up the canister, it comes in this like huge container, and we go in the doctor's office, and she's pulling it out, and I'm expecting I don't know how big I expected the container to be, but she pulls it out, and literally it was what, an inch? Not even. It was this little tiny thing. I'm like, we spent $800 for that thing. I wasn't producing as many eggs. I took a drug called Clomid, and basically what it does, it produces, it's supposed to help you produce more eggs. For Fei, she didn't actually have to go through that process.
Right. Myrtle.
Yeah.
All right, so there are 3 types of insemination, or 2, I should say. There's ICI, there's IUI, and there's IVF. So ICI is intracervical insemination, IUI is intrauterine insemination, and then IVF is in vitro fertilization. So ICI, pretty much what they do with ICI and IUI is they take a syringe, and so no, it's not a turkey baster, okay? But they take a syringe, and it's with a catheter attached to it. For ICI, what they do is they insert it and they release the sperm right at your cervix. IUI is what they do is they insert it and they place the syringe up through or past your cervix, and they release the sperm directly into your uterus. And then for IVF, it pretty much is they extract eggs, or they remove the eggs from the women, fertilize them outside of your body. So they fertilize the eggs, and then once the eggs are fertilized, then they will implant them back into the woman's uterus. Now for us with the IUI, our insurance actually covered. The IVF, typically insurance doesn't cover that. And if someone's insurance does cover that, please let us know so we can get on that insurance. And it usually is about $15,000 to $20,000 per cycle. After I was inseminated, they give you this 2-week wait, which is a 2-week window pretty much to determine whether or not you're pregnant. So this actually implies to everybody. If you do it the old-fashioned way or you do it at the medical office, there's a 2-week window to where you will be pregnant and you can find out that you're pregnant. So that's usually around the window where people realize, or women realize, oh, my cycle is late, and I'm gonna take a pregnancy test. For me, it was 14 days of being inseminated. On day 14, I could take a pregnancy test and determine whether or not I was pregnant. So on my first cycle, I took the pregnancy test and I wasn't pregnant. And when I'm saying cycle, I'm using that interchangeably. I'm using cycle as in a cycle of us doing the procedure, and I also mean cycle as in menstrual cycle. So for clarification purposes, I'll say menstrual cycle or menstruation, and I'll say cycle meaning the medical process. Well, on my first cycle of doing the procedure, it didn't take, so I didn't get pregnant. On my second cycle of doing the procedure, I actually got pregnant. So I felt like I was going to get my menstruation, and I was like, I'm just going to take this test because I just know that I'm not pregnant. And then I took the test and it was like pregnant.
And we were like, oh.
So everybody out here that has some kids, it's like a miracle baby. Literally, there is like a 12-hour window that a woman can get pregnant within a month.
Well, they call it a miracle, right?
It is right.
Everybody that had asked me about our process, because some people didn't know that I actually went through the process as well.
Oh, don't stick your fingers down your throat.
For some reason, I guess everybody hears IVF all the time, right? They don't hear ICI, they don't hear IUI. So that's one of the misconceptions, is that all lesbians or people that are trying to get pregnant, I guess it's not to say all lesbians, but everybody that's going through this process does the IVF route.
So if you have any questions, go ahead and leave it in the comment box below, and then we plan to do a Q&A session in the near future. We love and appreciate the support. And yeah, thanks for watching.
Hey lovely crew, tune in every Sunday for a new video. Thanks for watching and stick around for more to come.